The Big Three is here. TD Garden, Ice Cube at the Boston 25 studios. Welcome to Boston. Do you feel a little bit of a shiver when you come to Boston being a Laker fan?
I mean, it's a good shiver, you know what I mean? Because I know this is a sports town. So anytime you can come into a sports town with a great event like the Big Three, you get geeked up because, you know, we're introducing, you know, a new sport to the city of Boston. We've been to a lot of great cities all over the country, even Toronto. And so it's cool to be here in Boston. And I know they love hard-nosed basketball here, and that's what we got.
Do you anticipate a warm welcome tomorrow personally when you walk into TD Garden?
So I'm not a Laker, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm coming in with a totally different league. I come in peace, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's all love. You know, I've played Boston a few times. We did the King of the Mic tour with LL and Public Enemy and De La Soul. So I've always got a warm reception here, and I don't expect nothing different tomorrow.
Well, we've had the Big Three on Fox a couple Fridays over the course of the last few weeks. It's on FS1 tomorrow. But we've got a flavor for what it's all about. Year two, to me, year one wasn't bad, but year two, to me, compared to year one, is a lot better. And it's I had Brian Scalabrine in here the other night, and he said guys are lining up to play now.
Without a doubt. You know, we had guys, you know, more guys than we can put on teams this year. And it's great because last year, they didn't really know what it was about. You know what I mean? Everybody was like, is this a pickup game? What you doing, Cube? And this year, they know what it's about. It's a real league, and 3-on-3 is huge around the world. It's an Olympic sport in 2020. So guys came in this year in shape. The basketball's better. The teams are more star-studded. It's pretty cool.
One of the things I've noticed is how you market it. First of all, you're there every week. You go around and you do what you're doing here in Boston every week, which is great for the league because obviously you're the person who's going to drive the most interest outside of those who might remember these basketball players. So the marketing aspect of it to me is very cool. The secondary thing that I think is cool is you talked about the different rules. I heard you talking about it on the radio this morning. Some of the stuff that makes it unique. You know, you don't want guys sitting on the foul line a lot. You got the 4-point shot, stuff like that.
Yeah, you know, we wanted to make it exciting for 3-on-3. So, you know, we have a 14-second shot clock. Our fouls are unique. You know, when you get fouled, if you're taking a 2-point shot, go to free throw. One shot, you get 2 points. Now, if you're taking a 3-pointer, you go to the top of the 3-point line. One shot, you hit it, 3 points. We got a 4-point circle. Getting fouled doing a 4-point, step in that circle. One shot, 4 points. And it's faster because nobody comes to see free throws, you know what I mean? So those are the kind of things we did, and it makes the 3-on-3 game more interesting.
You also market it, though, kind of almost like a concert. You know, you come into a city for one big event. You get to see everybody who's in the league on that one night. So let's go through it. Can we go through the slate tomorrow night and talk about the games? All right, so you got 4 games. They start at 7 o'clock. The first one is Trilogy against the Ball Hogs. Now, the Ball Hogs has Brian Scalabrine, who we had here a couple of days ago. He's going to get a lot of time. And what I've noticed is there's a lot of former Celtics that are sort of sprinkled on the various teams in the various games. But this one, you know, Kenyon Martin last year, his team won the championship.
Yeah,
and they're 1-5. So it shows you got some parity in this league.
Yeah, the league is tough. You know, our champions, they can't draft, so they have to defend. So you have to keep your team intact, and everybody kind of geared up to beat them. And you know, they've had some bad luck with injuries, but for the most part, the league is much better than it was last year.
All right, game 2, which follows the game between Trilogy and the Ball Hogs, is the Killer Threes against Tri-State. Now, the Killer Threes have Chauncey Billups, Steven Jackson, Ron Artest, or Metta World Peace, whichever you want to call him, Josh Powell, Allen Anderson, coached by Charles Oakley. And they're going up against Tri-State, Jermaine O'Neal, Amari Stoudemire, Nate Robinson, former Boston Celtic, Bonzi Wells, and you see Dr. J on the sideline. So these aren't names that are low-budget, B-level names. These are big names.
No, this is some of the biggest names in basketball. You know, we had to start our sport with legitimacy. And to get those guys to endorse it, not only endorse it, but be a part of it, you know, be a coach and see the potential in the Big Three was huge for our, you know, our stepping stones and our, you know, steps in the right direction.
The highlight, I think, game 3 tomorrow. You got undefeated 3-headed monsters, 6-0, going up against Power. Now, the 3-headed monsters, Rashard Lewis, Reggie Evans, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who's like 75 and still nailing 4-point shots. Kwame Brown, coached by Gary Payton, going up against Corey Maggette, Katino Mobley, Big Baby Glenn Davis, Quentin Richardson, coached by Nancy Lieberman.
Yes.
Very impressive. You've brought her in as a coach, and that seems to be the matchup of the night tomorrow.
I mean, she has a great team. You know, she's looking to move into first place. You know, you got 6-0 versus 5-1. So, you know, these are the heavyweights of our league going at it tomorrow night. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I know people excited to see Big Baby Davis. You know, he's a star in our league. And, you know, so it's great competition.
Last game. Three's Company at 4-2 going up against the Ghost Ballers at 1-5. And here's who's on each team. Baron Davis, Drew Gooden, Andre Emmett, Jason Maxiel, the former Piston on Three's Company, coached by Michael Cooper. The Ghost Ballers have Mike Bibby, Ricky Davis, Carlos Boozer, who was just playing in the NBA when? Like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah,
3 years ago? So, I mean, he's just out. So you
out.
got good talent. These guys very competitive, coached by the Iceman, George Gervin.
Yes.
Very cool.
It's fun, man.
What do you enjoy most about the night when you show up in the arena?
I mean, you get to see competitive basketball. You get to see all these guys that still have the juices flowing. Even our coaches, you know. I mean, seeing Rick Barry, you know, yell at Gary Payton, you know what I mean, is pretty funny. Just to really see that the juices never die, and our athletes are great. And in the 3-on-3 format, you know, they're all-stars. You know, these guys are top-notch shape, and it's just a fun event, and it's a loose event. You know, I know you guys have went to Celtic games, and, you know, it's pretty, you know, stay in your seat, watch the game. With the big three, you know, guys are taking selfies, guys are doing autographs, guys are in the stands. You know, it's a fun atmosphere.
I can't let you escape without asking the question Carrie wanted me to ask. You saw Carrie when you walked in over there. She goes, how can you come to Boston and not have our big three? I mean, did you ever think about trying to get, you know, the big three, KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce?
Yes. I've been after Ray Allen. I've been after KG. I've been stalking Paul Pierce. They've been ducking me, but I'm going to catch up with y'all. I'm going to get y'all in next year.
I want to get your thoughts on some social issues. You ready to talk a little bit about that? I saw that Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf is his jersey now.
Yes.
10% of those sales going to benefit the Colin Kaepernick Foundation, right? The Know Your Rights camp.
Yes.
Important that this happens. Give me your thoughts on kind of state of the country, civil rights, human rights. What do you think?
I mean, I think everybody got to look in the mirror. I think everybody got to look in the mirror and see what kind of country we want to be. And it starts with you. It don't start with nothing going on. It starts with you. And then, you know, I think that's what we have to do. We have to take a long look in the mirror, see who we want to be going forward.
The way the path has taken us with guys kneeling for anthems and the outrage that has caused across the country, is that in your mind the most effective path moving forward? Let's say you were commissioner of the NFL for a day, or if you were somebody who was advising somebody who wants to stand up and make a social statement. What would be the best way for a professional athlete to do that now?
I mean, you're in America, you know, the best way you see fit. That's the beauty about being in America. You should be able to protest how you see fit, especially if it doesn't harm or hurt any people or property.
Football question. Your Raiders going to give the Patriots anything this year?
I hope so, man. You know, those Patriots are tough. And they're the standard, and I hope everybody's trying to figure out how to get to that level.
How do you stay loyal to that team when it bounces around from what was your hometown in LA to Oakland and now to Las Vegas?
Because I'm real, man. You know, I'm a diehard. You know what I mean? I'm not a fair weather fan, and that's my team. I'm gonna stick with it to the end.
I couldn't think of any better way to end this interview than a dismissive goodbye to me. Do you have it in you?
Bye, Felicia. I mean, bye, Tom.